You're listening to Drinks and a Movie with your host, Rudy. Spoiler alert.
All right, here we go. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that stuff, everybody. We're back here. Carissa, Jocelyn, and I. Holiday horror continues for 2024.
Woo!
And today we're going to be talking the 2006 remake of Black Christmas. But first, a couple other topics. First, well, that's redundant. Our drink, we are having Christmas break from the Segundo Brewing Company. This is a Christmas ale coming in at 8%. That's nice.
Wow.
That is nice.
It was the night before Christmas, and it was quiet as a mouse. Santa finally left for work. There was peace in the house. Our Christmas ale is brewed with traditional festive herbs and spices to enhance your holiday season.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Crack this sucker open. Mm-hmm. All right. Smells like a beer to me.
Smells like an ale, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a Christmas ale.
Wow. That's kind of not what I was expecting. It tastes like chocolate milk.
Man,
I like the mouthfeel. It's very smooth.
that's the stuff I don't like. No, it has a creamy texture to it. I don't taste like chocolate, but it does have like a creamy texture.
Maybe
It's very
That's
Guinnessy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost like a
Yes.
nitro. Kind of vibe.
It has that for sure.
And so, likewise, was not expecting that.
Yeah, I think if you like beer, it might be off-putting if you're expecting
Well, I mean, for Christmas, I don't know what I was.
Well, I'm sorry, everybody. This apparently expired in November.
It's okay. Oh, that's not far at all. This is beer. It's alcohol.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
There's
Yeah,
alcohol. It's
maybe
8%.
I'm just sensitive.
No, you're
You
fine.
can tell.
No.
I think I can. I wonder if that's why it comes across kind of.
You think so?
Because to me, it's on the flat side.
Oh, try mine. Well, I mean,
It's the same. Yeah, it's going to be the same. But I think that's where for me, and maybe that is part of it, right? That creamy, almost nitro Guinness.
Because I feel like
It's
it
like
wouldn't
a
be too
caramel
bubbly.
finish.
No,
can't.
I mean,
But
it
maybe
might
it's meant to because, again, it has like a very, like we said.
Yeah, they want it to
nitro.
be Christmassy. So I can get it in that term.
I mean, it's barely expired, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are suggestions. Haven't you
Yes,
heard?
exactly.
Cut it out, Rudy.
Those are points of reference.
Don't try to trick me.
So, yeah, I've got nothing more to say about the beer. I'm glad you guys like it. I just threw away like $20, but actually they undercharged me for it, so that's nice. I saved like
Nice.
$5.
I mean,
know.
honestly, you can go back and be like, you guys sold me expired beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, get your money's worth.
Yeah.
That's why I brought some bourbon just in case. I had a few. I was
yeah.
like, just in case these don't
Backup
really.
bourbon.
Yeah.
It's very smart, very smart. But man, okay,
There
this
is a
movie,
chocolate.
baby.
The movie.
The movie.
So much,
To start,
Start with the yes.
I have to bring this up because this year, actually December 20th, which is when this episode is going to drop.
Woo. Yeah.
So today is the 50th anniversary of Bob Clark's 1974 masterpiece that is Black Christmas, starring Olivia Hussey, Cara Dulé, Margot Kidder, and John Saxon. One of my all-time favorite movies.
Damn.
So I would like to start there, and please, can you all share with me your take on the original Black Christmas?
Yes. Well, first time I watched it was when you recommended it to me.
Oh, just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few years. I was like, I've never seen it. Oh my gosh. That, I don't know what it is, but I feel Olivia Hussey's amazing. First off, I absolutely,
Juliet.
oh my God, I love her. I was like, dude, she's breathtaking. Anyways, this is when I first started, when you started like recommending these types of movies to me, when I first started watching movies from that time, from the genre and the time period. They are so raw and so intense. And they just feel so like much more real than the movies we get now. And I was like, dang, Rudy, I'm like, these are like harder for me to watch than the horror movies I see now because they just feel and like the look of it and everything. I'm like, ooh, but I really did love this one. This one like definitely left an impression on me. I remember I was just like, oh my God, I can't wait to see the next one too.
You mean this one, like the original, right? Or this?
The remake.
Okay.
I wanted to see how they did it
Gotcha.
modernized because I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this movie, like what a great premise. Everything about it, it was just chef's kiss.
Awesome. Yeah, for me, I will say that I have not seen the original Black Xmas or Christmas. And when I was searching for both, I was like, I watched this and I saw the original and I was like, oh, I so want to watch that so badly. I actually really wanted to watch it. And I was like, I kept thinking about it for like days after watching this one. I'm like, I want to watch the original, but I didn't know that was a part of the assignment. And I was afraid.
It was not.
Okay. But I was afraid that I would like conflate the two. Well, that too, but also mostly I would confuse certain storyline aspects because I have a tendency of doing that if I watch them too closely together. But now I kind of wish I did because I love comparing, like, you know, like the origins of anything or the source material or anything like that. I also feel like this one has a certain, you know, 2006 vibe that's fun, but I do love a good, like, what was it? Like 70s horror? Or yeah,
74.
I do love, I mean, Halloween, hello. So I was like, a lot of the time I go through periods where I just itch for that like 70s horror vibe, and seeing the poster art for Black Christmas, the 70s version, I was like, ooh, I really want to watch that to compare. So I should have just done it.
Yeah, I was telling Carissa, I was like, oh man, I realized that it's the 50th anniversary, and I'm going to talk about the remake.
You've already done. Well, you can sing the original's praises.
Yeah,
you know?
so that's why I wanted to open with this. So for anyone who might not know, you can go back, and in the very first season of Drinks in a Movie podcast in December 2019, Black Christmas was like the first Christmas episode of the show. It was episode 10 of Drinks in a Movie podcast. And my friend Malia, I miss you, was on it. She brought mulled wine.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of, like, she makes her own.
Oh,
and so
yeah,
we were
I love
drinking like really good mulled wine. So it was fun to listen back to that episode and see like the points that we were talking about. And one of the questions that came up partway through it, I meant to take some notes, but I didn't, was, you know, why this one doesn't have quite, I guess, didn't quite take off like, say, Halloween, Friday the 13th and all that. And I was at the moment, I couldn't think about it, but I think Malia actually says it later on, is the conclusion we came to is that, you know, we don't know anything about the killer in the original film. I'm going to try not to spoil anything because it has like one of the best endings. So I won't say anything about that.
Okay.
But like one of my all-time favorite movie endings. And whereas Halloween had Michael Myers, you know,
Yes.
Friday the 13th had Pamela and Jason Voorhees and Nightmare at Freddy's. So the monsters are like what became iconic, whereas this, it's just your characters. And I think to your point, Carissa, about like the grittiness and the kind of raw, besides like the aesthetics of like a low budget 70s Canadian movie, it's the characters. Like Bob Clark and the writer took such good care of making the characters realistic. And like, no one, like, I was watching an interview where he's talking about like, no one was really writing stuff like where college students like sound like college students. So we did it real, and it's like, we're in a sorority house, and you know what, this is how people talk. And I think, you know, they're
like the small little dirty things happening with the door shutting and like the part, like, whoa,
no, Margaret
it was
Kidder,
just so
everything
funny.
that she
Like,
says,
it was
it's equal parts funny too. It's horror too, and it's so masterfully directed. Like, it's a movie I watch every single year, and I already got my ticket to go see it at New Beverly. Like, I go there to do the double feature every year since like 2008. You know, I'm always in it. I watch my Blu-ray too, and I always walk away like super inspired, and just, you know, it's such a well-crafted movie.
Honestly, speaking of like cover art or poster art, that's also what made it such a like, ooh, I really feel like I just want to watch this right now. I almost was like, Ian, it's so great, that nostalgia, like, come on. Like, so I definitely am going to be like, you know, when Ian and I have a chance, I'm going to be like, let's watch this. It's perfect. So I'm excited to give it a watch personally.
It's really good. I definitely let us know what you think about after you see it too. Cause there's also like the interesting, not, I guess almost kind of like feminist angle in a way, right? But without being is overt the word, or it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, overt
it's
is the
gonna
word.
be all about like it just feels like real people and real
Right.
conversations, not
Less like injecting an agenda.
Yeah, not pushing
Yeah.
an agenda or
Yeah.
checking a box. It just so it's especially fun to watch it a place,
organic.
like New Beverly with like a modern audience, because there's this stuff that's like dated, but it's like real, and there's this stuff that feels modern, but it's just because that's just people.
Yeah.
And it comes across very authentic, in my opinion. And I love that. So when you watch it, you're almost like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah, dude.
they're like really far ahead with like these topics.
Yeah,
Shit,
because even
ahead
like
of
when
their
like
time,
talking and the breathing, I was like, oh, it feels so gross and like dirty, and I'm just like, bro, like that still hits to this day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you watch on that theater, people are like, oh,
Yeah. Billy. Don't tell him what Agnes did. The eyeball shot. So, all right,
which
let's-
is your favorite shot ever? Rudy loves
you know,
that
it's
shot.
one of them. It's amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Watch it.
It's great too, because that's the one that everyone, people will always scream in the theater in that moment. Every time. There's always like the half people that had never seen it before, and then all the ladies scream when the eyeball thing shot
Yep.
happens.
Oh god.
Which is great. I love it when movies hold up like that.
Classic.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. The remake 2006. Did y'all see this when it first came out?
No.
I did not.
No. Did you?
I didn't.
see it
I didn't
for
even
this?
know about it.
I saw
for
it.
this.
I'm pretty sure I saw. No, I want to say. I think I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Most
sure you told
likely,
me to watch this a long time ago.
Really? This
And
seems
I'm-
like something you would have watched like without my wife.
100%.
Like you would have scrolled and be like, yeah,
This is like
Yeah.
your era.
that's one of those movies.
I know, and I totally would have, which is why I think I've seen it before, but I don't think I've ever watched it. I think because I put horror movies in the background
Right.
24/7. I think I put it in the background, but man, when I watched it this time and I caught all those little details throughout, and like all just the kills in it, just like everything, I'm like, it feels like it should be a teen scream, and it definitely like is not. It is. I mean, it is, but it's not. The kills
I guess
in
what
this,
do you mean? What separates?
because I feel like the kills in this are so much more graphic than like something that, when it cuts away when the person's getting chopped up or something, you know what I mean?
Like, what's an example of like a teen scream?
Okay, so a teen scream would be
Scream.
like Countdown. I just watched this movie, Countdown. That's a teen scream because they don't really
okay.
show anything.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you like get the vibe of it. Or what's another one that's like Unfriended? Like you'll kind of see things.
So more like contemporary, low
and
budget.
it's more
more like not so much gruesome
Yeah.
acts on screen.
okay, so it's more suggestive
It's like-
slash in what's the word?
Instead of like a movie, what was this
Implied.
rated? Was this rated R?
Implied.
A PG-13.
okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, implied
But
violence,
It
implied
films
murder.
like it kind of, you know
Right.
what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I
It
got
feels
you.
like it is.
It's got that like aesthetic and vibe.
100%,
with the
but it's
graphic
not.
kills. Gotcha. Good observation.
So I remember seeing this movie in 2000. So I was a senior in high school. I saw it with my friend Sergio, my friend Rhythm, because
That's a
Sergio,
cool name.
yeah, because Sergio told us we were like by the Edward Cinema, and he's like, "Yo, I started watching this
Dude,
Black
were you
Christmas
guys
movie."
barely 18 or
Not even. I think we probably snuck into it. Like that was
Amazing. Love
all the
that.
shit back then. So I don't remember the circumstances of how we got in, but we got in, and so we watched it based off his because I never saw a trailer. I didn't know anything about it. Black Christmas, sure. I'm with my buddies, and because I did see this before the original, and I remember like going in blind. No idea what it's like.
God.
Oh, okay,
I
we got
Wow.
we got Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Michelle Trachtenberg. And all
yes,
this,
Lacey
Chabert,
Chabert.
Katie Cassidy, and we get into this movie, and just right off the bat, we're in like the asylum with the Santa, and we get a glimpse at Billy.
Yes.
Who's gonna be our killer, and I just thought all that was interesting. And when they get into the backstory, like we have it playing in the background again here, and they're into the backstory of Billy.
Yeah, so there's like two timelines, which I will say I did find it a little confusing at times. Or the two timelines weren't so confusing, but the timelines of like, and we'll get into that, of like the kills at the present day sorority, or I guess present day as in 2006, and his escape. That's where I was like, wait, but there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
right.
was about to.
There's a reason for
Yeah.
that.
Talk about the parents from People Under the Stairs.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, no, that was all. Man, that's a movie we got to cover soon.
Ooh, it sounds fantastic.
You haven't
Pe-
seen
people
it?
on-
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it sounds great though. Sounds creepy as fuck.
No, I barely saw it for the first time 2 years ago, I think.
Okay. What era?
This is from the 80s?
I think it's
70s?
early 90s. It's like
Okay.
early 90s.
Okay.
Wes Craven, yeah. Like the kid
That
from
sounds amazing.
It's like Ving Rhames and the kid from The Sandlot,
Okay.
you know.
Oh my gosh. Why did I think it was, I thought it was
It's
the
like
year after.
it's like 92 or something.
Yeah, okay.
But
Bro, listen.
no, it's one of those movies that when
Movies of the times.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I'm like really surprised that more people aren't talking about this. Like this isn't, because I know it's kind of like a cult classic. Like if it's one of those that, like, if you know, you know, you know.
Yeah.
And so when I saw it, I was like, damn, yeah, this movie is wild. Like, and it just made like the kid main character, but he's not a dumbass. And
Yeah.
he's like
a street smart kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The hero, and there's obviously like the social, racial tension and all that, and the class.
You gotta
kinky white people.
the landlord. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
It's a gnarly.
Oh my gosh. I love all the distinct characterizations.
It's
That sounds
insane.
amazing already.
Like weird inbred stuff.
Oh,
too,
here you go.
though.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, this movie. So I didn't even give the plot, but an escaped mental patient is inflicting terror on this sorority house with
There you go.
obscene phone calls, and murders start to happen.
Oh, exactly.
I don't even know how to go like starting about this. But I guess the fact that in this movie, the big difference in what we're seeing right now, and why we brought up People Under Stairs, is getting into the background of the killer,
Yes.
which in the original movie is not a thing at all. Part of what really makes it work. Now, I don't like when they take away the mystery.
Yeah.
You know, I like it when it's mysterious and you don't know and you have questions. But I always say, like, if you're going to remake a movie, then do something different.
Yeah, you have to.
And they do. And they go
do.
pretty hard on
Oh my
this bat. They go
gosh,
real
they
hard.
do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they really went crazy ham with this backstory. Again, like much like it's interesting because there's that dynamic and that profiling of a serial killer that they definitely check all the boxes where he had been subjected to an abusive home life with his mother, and he actually is born with cirrhosis, or he's like a cirrhosis baby. He's like born yellow because his mother's an alcoholic and abusive, and he witnesses her and her lover murder his father. And it's
His father who actually liked him.
I
His
know,
mom-
that's
his
the
mom
saddest
hated him,
part.
yeah.
mom, despises him.
Oh, but
She
like,
locks him in the attic
yes.
and keeps him as a fucking sex
Was-
slave.
it-
Oh
it
my
was disgusting.
God.
So
Yeah.
I guess because he witnessed the murder, so exactly. He fathers his sister and his daughter with the mother his mother.
And that's her, like, she
So that's
comes
like
up.
the ultimate
shit was-
like, Norman
she-
Bates
yeah.
like weird shit.
like
But yes.
she rapes him, like rapes
Yeah.
her son.
Yes.
Which is, and I'll never forget that shot. It was
Oh
like
my
etched in my
God.
brain is when, you know,
Rocking chair.
her dude
wasn't
passes
he's
out.
passed. Yeah.
And
like,
so
"Yo,
she
let's do
goes up
this."
and,
And she
it's
gets
just
that
like,
idea. Brilliant idea.
dude, him in the rocking chair, and then she like steps up and the camera's like between her legs and the robe just drops.
God.
yeah,
And,
it's
like-
so,
It's such a deranged, like the graduate, but deranged.
Yeah, right,
perfect
right.
way to
It's
show
terrible.
without showing.
Yeah.
Without,
You know,
and then
Without
you just see
saying
the
it,
chair
yeah.
rock more. Oh god,
It's terrible, yeah. Like I remember that
Yeah.
was like I remember that moment. Like
that
it
must
was
have
so
rocked you, like, as a
cringy.
kid.
No,
like,
yeah, in the
you're
theater, it
17
was-
years old, barely maybe.
Rudy's in there like, what the hell did you guys bring me to
Yeah,
see?
no, it's like, oh man, like cringy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I was already watching like gnarly, like Takashi Miike.
Okay.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I was already like Cannibal Holocaust in.
Oh
so,
god.
But
Wow.
it was still nuts. Like, yeah, that's like in my mind. I like never forgot that
yeah.
moment.
Jesus. And then 9 months later, his sister's born.
Yeah.
Sister and daughter born. You're like, oh god. Oh god.
Agnes and the
Yes.
daughter's sister is Agnes.
Speaking of which, it's like they have the red herring for Agnes, which is
Yeah.
this weird sorority sister that they oddly, this is why it was confusing. There's a little bit there's a couple of reasons why the timelines are confusing, but they show this one girl that's like a sorority sister who's a little strange and has a weird way of intonating and might be on the spectrum, for example, or just odd. And then they show Agnes and how her conception happened, which was the rape, unfortunately, or the grape. I don't like when people say grape. It's like
they really heavily imply it. And then
this is my fate.
She gives her the glass unicorn,
yes,
which
very
is in
stabby.
the first movie.
Yeah, which is
that's
that's why. So
fantastic.
that's another. When you see it, you'll be like, "Oh my gosh!"
I love to like watch the original and compare shit like
You
that.
will. You'll
the
watch
Easter
it.
eggs. The
Yeah.
Easter eggs.
Well,
okay.
she's in the first movie. the den
Stop.
mother.
I love when they do that shit.
Yeah, she's in the. I'm gonna look up her. I
So she was
forgot
one
her
of the
name.
sorority sisters, I presume.
Yeah.
So the house mother in the 2006 Black Christmas was in the original. I love that. Mind blown.
Yeah,
I watch it.
Andrea Martin.
I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't
so
have caught
fun.
that
I
if you
love,
didn't
like-
tell me. Ew, and now seeing the Christmas cookies
Oh my God!
has
Stop.
such a different. Oh no! It's the scene where she's trying to have sex with her.
But can I just say,
murdering
the
partner.
Christmas cookies? I was like, brilliant. What a brilliant way.
Oh, and he's like
the
cutting
murder?
that
when he
out her
cuts it
back.
from the skin.
No, I thought that was a fantastic kill.
Oh my
Like,
god,
such an entertaining kill.
But it's such a great idea. Like, you know, when you want to do
Yeah.
themed things, I'm like, bro,
There
what
you
a
go.
great theme.
Yeah, it was another
Oh god, the look on her face when she's like,
gnarly moment because it's like, oh, now so Billy ends up killing the mom and the stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
He rips out Agnes's eyeball,
yeah.
and then he makes cookies out of the mom's flesh and is
Yeah.
And
eating
he's
them
sitting
when
there
the
eating
cops
them when
show-
the cops
Well,
I remember
he
that
dips
also
them in,
being in milk.
He basically takes a cookie cutter to her back and you
Cuts
get
out
the
her
idea.
skin and
Cooks
makes
them.
delicious
But he
cookies.
dips it in the milk and the way the close up, and they really do a lot with this movie with the close ups of smacking lips.
I know.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
And they really get in
This
there
is the
tight with the
scene.
milk. Oh yeah, the rope drop. We're also like
Yeah,
right
we
now,
got it playing in the back.
playing with the
Just
R
this-
scene or the rape scene. 9 months later, a little baby is born, healthy baby girl. Oh my gosh.
Tell them what we did.
Oh gosh,
I know.
Oh god,
But yeah, the
that's
cookie
wild.
scene, like with the milk coming out of his lips and him like eating the
Ew,
flesh.
stop! I can't take that.
Sorry.
I know. I'm just like, "What?" No, I hate the sound of it. Like the
Oh yeah, the smack.
And the
There's, like,
texture,
the
it's like the gummy
the
candies
gummy,
you have.
It's like the ASMR of it. I forget what that is when you really can't stand sounds like that.
it's called what's it? Oh my god, I know what it's called. But anyways,
See, and then they cut to this girl again to really drive
Oh yeah.
home that,
Yes, that the mislead she's the red herring, this sorority sister. Eve is her name.
And I do like that, she just walks out and then until you see the head later,
I know.
like
it's
you
just
almost
like,
kind of forget. It's like, oh, she got an off-screen kill, poor bastard.
I know.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Sad.
And because she says at one point too, like, you're my family now, when she gives her the glass, which
yeah.
is what they hear on the phone.
The glass unicorn. Yep. That calls because there's a little bit of that, like, oh, there's, that urban legend where the calls are coming from inside the house. We get a little bit of that with you're my family now. And I love that they kind of, and I don't know if they did this in the original, but where they have this whole it sounded like you guys were touching on that, where they're like, oh, you got to leave a gift for Billy, which Billy is, basically the reason why Billy comes to this house, this sorority house, is because they are currently residing in the house that he grew up in where all these horrific events occurred. So that is why he's coming back. So they have this whole urban legend within the sorority of you got to leave a gift for Billy. They probably even have a stocking over the fire that says Billy. And they know him. They know that about
Everyone
these
knows
events.
the story.
Yeah.
I do like when the sister shows up. So in this movie,
Oh, yeah, that was
the
good.
first person that get killed, Claire or whatever. In the original, it's the father. In this one, it's the sister, the estranged sister.
Which
who's,
father? Is it like a father sorority sister?
one of those-
of the first girl that gets whacked.
Okay, okay.
So in this one, it's this like her sister instead, and
Yes.
I like that. She's a legacy person. She was also part of the same sorority.
That
There's
was
a part
good-
where she's like, "Oh, you guys still."
Leave
I
a
bet you
present
still leave a present for Billy or whatever, and
Yes.
she's like, "Oh, this is new. Like
This-
Billy left one for you guys."
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's a good little.
That's like a
moment.
fun
It's
little
like,
thing.
what?
You're like, ooh,
Huh? What are you talking
that
about?
one's really fun.
Like, this
I love
wasn't
that.
here earlier. Yeah.
And then the phone.
And they get a call.
Side note, that gray shirt the girl has on, I have that. That's from Abercrombie and Fitch.
Don't you love when you see stuff like that in films?
I do.
There is a part in this movie where they use a split field diopter. I forgot what the shot was, but it was like very ineffective and pointless. There it is.
Wait.
And I think they cut to it again. It's like not like.
It's like, why? What was the point of that?
Yeah, why'd you do that? That's not.
Wait, what is the effect? Is it where it looks a little
So you
like...
see there where she's like up and then the background.
Okay.
So, but it just looks like it looks almost like they CGI'd her, but that's not the look it was going for. I don't know.
Okay.
It's all it is. It's a glass element that goes in front of the lens. So something in the foreground can be in focus.
Okay.
But then the background's also like sharp focus.
It did give it a sense of like just like not dissociation, but just feeling a little disorienting because like I feel like they're realizing that shit's going down because they just got this creepy call. Maybe I don't know. That's the only impression I'm getting from watching it with the sound off and rewatch.
Yeah.
It's like a second watch, but yeah. Okay.
Here's our other red herring.
Well, you know what? I did read
boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend was-
the bad boyfriend.
yeah, because he's got a video with
He's got a sex
video
tape with
somebody
the other poor
else.
girl.
This is it's like such a.
And he's like,
He's
I
so
live
mean to
here.
everyone,
He
too.
is. He
God.
calls them bitches.
Yeah, he's so mean to
And he's like,
everyone.
I live here. You guys don't even know this story. And he's the one that tells these poor girls about the story about
Yeah.
Agnes because they don't know. They don't live here. They're here for 4 years or 5 years.
I love it too that he's just like, oh yeah, I just climbed in through the window and
There's some chicks wondering like, well, where is she? I don't know. It was dark.
the other girl's room, like
That he was banging.
okay, guy, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just like, yeah, fine, no problem.
Yeah, no gentlemen callers were allowed in my sorority unaccompanied, and definitely not in the ladies' quarters.
Well, that's why they're climbing through the windows,
Yeah,
baby.
Exactly.
Hey.
This is a line that I wrote down. This is my note about the boyfriend who's on screen now. Said, this dude is such a dick. He's justifying his cheating on Katie Cassidy by saying he didn't deal drugs or knock over 7-Elevens as if it justifies his actions.
Yeah.
LOL. He says that. That's like a
He's
line.
like, it's not
He's
like
like, it's not like I knocked over liquor stores and dealt drugs or whatever. It's like what are you talking about?
You're still a crummy fucking boyfriend or effing boyfriend.
I
Ridiculous.
just thought that was hilarious.
Wow.
So
Yeah, so he's gonna get his comeuppance.
one thing that really bothers. So in this movie, I guess overall, because we don't need to talk about it beat for beat, and like, but I think the kills are mostly pretty good here, and there's the thing about gouging the eyes out, you know, because that's what he did with like the dolls and with his Agnes or whatever early in the movie. But we talked about how in the original movie there's the iconic like eye through the crack of the door shot.
Yes.
In this movie, they overdo that shit.
Yeah.
So much.
I was gonna
It,
say, I wish they had more inventive kills because
Well, not even whenever he shows himself.
there's always
It's always
like,
the eye.
yeah. Okay.
like they really lean into, and it's cool. It's like, oh, they knew that that's like what, like the money moment in that, or one of the money shot of that movie, right? But I don't know, to like keep leaning into it over and over.
like, okay.
It would have made it, I think, in my opinion, but if they did like one really good shot of it
Yeah.
when everybody's like, woohoo,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I agree with that.
But over and over again, it was a little much.
because
I
it's
agree.
and it's always him looking through like secret little holes like throughout the house and
Okay.
whatnot. And
See,
it's just-
I didn't pick up on that because I hadn't seen the original, but like I guess I just saw it as like, oh, he's a peeping, like he's a
peeping Tom.
voyeur. He's a,
right,
you know,
and yeah, like there's clearly the motif, right? Like
Yeah.
even every victim, he gouges the eyes out.
Yes.
He does it to little Agnes for some reason.
I know, which I'm just like, bro, why would you do that? Like,
yeah. She
but
didn't do
they
anything.
explain
She's a
that's how they show love in his family by killing and hurting each other.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's right. It does say that. Well, I guess
Yeah.
that's all he knew or whatever.
That's all he knew.
That's all.
But this is like this is a really, really, really fun holiday watch. It's really crazy. This one's like, and the
there
eye.
it is.
There it is.
Oh, foreshadowing. Dude, this bitch is lighting her cigarette on the stove. Like she's just a crummy mother. I mean, she did Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the least
And
of
she
it.
raped her son.
Yeah.
But she lit her cigarette on the stove. That bitch.
Well,
She just like scum. Piece of scum.
here's another thing, and I forgot to look this up, but tell me what y'all think, because I have this in my mind. I already know my answer. When they show Agnes, because they show the killer in this one, and it turns out it's Agnes.
Yes.
And then Billy is also in the
the-
house.
yeah.
And he
That's
comes in
why it
little
was
later.
such a confusing
The dual
timeline.
Yeah.
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 Spoilers.
Because like you know that he just like
Yeah,
breaks out
it's
of that, which the candy cane was such a great fun. Like
Yeah.
you kind of knew it was coming
Right.
because he's in the insane asylum or the sanatorium or sanatorium.
Tomato.
Yeah, and he's escaping, and you're like, okay, candy canes are a little dangerous to give your inmates or your patients because that, and they do it, and it's so good.
I love that.
But yeah, the timelines are really off because at the same time you see the first kill with Claire,
Yeah.
so it's like what? So I was so confused, and then there you have the flashback. Ew, he ingested Agnes's eye. It looks like.
Yes.
You have the flashbacks with his upbringing, Billy's upbringing. So I was like, okay, this is feeling a little disjointed. But then I was like, okay, that's because Agnes
Agnes is there.
the sorority girl killer, basically, and he comes as almost backup at some point.
Like Daddy's home or some shit.
Oh my gosh.
And I did like that twist to it of like, oh, there's two of them in the house at one point. What I was gonna say though is, so did Agnes remind you of anybody, or did anything come to mind? Any other horror stuff? I'm gonna take that as a no.
You mean, wait, what do you mean?
Did Agnes just remind you of anything? Did it look familiar at all?
No,
kind of like a Rob Zombie, but
Like Rob Zombie?
yeah. Okay,
yeah, I did not immediately get that.
I
Did not spark anything.
I wish I remembered to read about this before, but to me, Agnes's face, like, is that a real?
No, it's a
person?
mask. It looks like a white
looks like
girl,
a
like,
mask.
it's
So
Okay, so like as a child, Agnes?
No,
Or-
no,
the
adult.
adult
It looks like a
Agnes.
man with a woman's mask on, kind
Right.
of.
I thought it was just a man with a woman's wig.
That's what Agnes looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me specifically,
I thought they cast a man.
Okay, what was
as
it? What
adult
was it?
Agnes.
the features remind me so much of the William Shatner mask. that Halloween.
They spray paint
that they
white.
spray
Oh my
painted,
God,
like,
yeah.
Just the face,
Whoa.
and I've met William Shatner in real life, and the face kind of looks like that, like
That's
old William Shatner.
crazy.
So I was wondering, I'm like, because this doesn't look like
Nah.
it's like too much, and it's definitely it's got to be a dude.
Like caricature
No, it
but it looks,
or like
yeah,
No, 100%. It looks like, all right, you remember White Chicks?
yes,
That's what it looks like.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
prosthetic.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's
Okay,
so funny.
I straight up was like, "Whoa, it's so interesting that they cast a adult male as Agnes as an
could
adult."
you imagine though? They tried.
it looks like it, like they modeled the makeup off of that. You know what I mean?
That
Wow.
makes sense though. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to see if
Oh God,
Like
no.
Agnes makeup.
Oh, he's dipping the cookie.
Oh,
Oh,
the teeth.
gross! The flush cookies.
Oh, the flush cookies. Delicious. Merry Christmas.
Oh, it is like
guys.
dripping down his lips. Oh.
Sanitarium.
Sanitarium. That is how you say it. A
Oh,
sanitarium.
and then poor Agnes had to go to the sanitarium.
Yeah, she did. Or I guess orphanage sanitarium. Well, sometimes they have that. Yeah. Dang.
But they even made her look kind of weird as a kid too. You know what I mean?
They,
They gave her
yeah, she
Yeah.
did have a very.
yeah, because they were trying to like the
let them. Yeah, they got.
the like, oh my god, I can't remember the word, like the inbred kind
Yeah.
of reform thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's in the
Well-
trivia at all. I'm just like curious.
So in the original, there was no Agnes, or
Well,
not that is talked about, or okay, gotcha.
the Agnes is the name. Like they took. So the phone calls are a bigger deal in the original movie,
Okay. Yeah.
because it's obviously pre cell phones and caller ID and all that.
Right.
Here, I feel like they don't do as much with that because nowadays it's tough. Even in 2006, like just
Like what-
caller
yeah.
ID. But so the phone plays a bigger role, and the killer, whoever the maniac, is saying all kinds of shit, but you don't know any of it. It's just all obscenities and crazy
Like
shit.
he's talking dirty, saying some dirty.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, on the phone, it's
But the
wild.
names are coming up like Billy, don't tell him what Agnes, like shit
Yeah.
like that. Like Agnes, don't tell him, but she's not your mother, Ed. Like all this crazy shit, like multiple
So you
voices.
don't, yeah.
What?
So
But
it
he's
sounds like
doing
it's
it.
one
Sounds like
person,
somebody's
but it
having a
sounds
mental
like,
break and just like saying all this stuff.
It's like wild.
a golem or something.
But what's
But they made a fucking crazy.
yeah, like they made a whole backstory in this movie just based off like what they're hearing on the phone. Kind
I
of.
see.
Yeah.
That they just took the
that's so
names
smart. That
Yeah.
kind of brings it full circle. I like that. I can appreciate that for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah, and Bob Clark did say in an interview that for him, he's like he knows who the character is and what the story is. It just obviously isn't in the movie, but he's like, I know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I have that, you know. But yeah, I love that it's all just a mystery.
It's fun. And all the kills in this are really, really, really fun kills. Like they're all really well done and they show all of it. There's no like, I mean, a few times they have like little fancy cutaways, but man, they show all of it.
Yeah, like you get a couple off screen or a few off screens, I think.
Yeah.
Like Mary Elizabeth Winstead just gets
yeah.
blood in the window. Like,
That
you
was
see
so fun. The
that.
windshield of the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that one. I thought that was great. I will say, like, I did feel like it was a little redundant, but he was basically mimicking his mother's kill of his father, I believe, with the plastic bag over the head and then either stabbing and gouging the eyes out.
But that's what, that's what he did with
But
the
it was
little
his
kid
signature,
too. With
yeah.
his
Sister daughter.
Yeah, his sister-daughter.
God.
the
Agnes.
child.
Dude.
I do like the older sister of Claire. You know, I like
Yes.
that
I thought that was
change is
cool.
interesting. And I was genuinely that's right. Michelle Triumphant gets killed with the ice skate.
Yeah.
It's like scalped.
Which I love.
That was a good
She's
kill.
trying
Yeah,
to
that
escape
was
and
unique.
check
That
Yeah.
one was good.
But I genuinely get bummed out when the older sister gets killed in like the final
That
the
sucks.
final stretch. When you're like, all right,
Because-
they both made it out.
And they're
Yes.
bonding. And
Yeah.
they say that sweet thing like, I couldn't celebrate with like my sister,
Yeah,
but I could spend Christmas with you.
There's an eyeball on the screensaver. I just saw
yeah,
it.
see,
Whoa.
eyeballs everywhere.
Balls
Too
that-
many
Easter
eyeballs.
eggs.
Eyeballs.
No, but that
everywhere.
was because she like went all that way to like they were kind of estranged, if I
Yeah.
remember
They're estranged,
correctly,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it was like she really, they were trying to find out where she went, like because she was the first kill, and and then they found all the trail of bodies in the attic, and he gets his comeuppance. He gets pulled into the attic. The shitty boyfriend guy.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, with that freak strength, just fucking yanking him up there.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Insane.
Yeah, Agnes was huge.
Yes.
Agnes was huge.
Yeah, man. I don't have much to add to it. Like,
Well, it was.
I don't know.
I guess like what I did find interesting looking up the wiki on this was just that, you know, I feel, I guess, vindicated that I was a little bit confused by like the pacing of the film. And it did say that basically, hopefully I have the right. Yeah, Glenn Morgan. And it's like, you know, obviously it's a remake. And it says that he kind of like went, let's see, him and Wong, I'm not sure who Wong is, but had numerous disputes with Dimension Films, executives Bob and Harvey Weinstein regarding the tone and script as well as the film's conclusion. And so there was a lot of rewrites and reshoots. So I'm like, okay.
yeah.
Like, I see why I found it a little bit like some of it confusing, but like, yeah. I mean, we had so much fun watching it though. I was just like, again, like thrown off by the timeline, but then you see why, because yes, Agnes was already in the house. Like she must have escaped sooner, much sooner, or she was
She was
released.
only six. She was-
Released. Yeah.
Yeah, she because they said that she was put in like she never got adopted and was just in the
Right.
show. But then
I think once you're 18, you're,
And, like no one's ever seen her since or again.
Yeah.
Dang. And so basically there's all these like crawl spaces in this place because he was relegated or locked away in the attic and
That's where he lived.
he lived there. But then there's also like the sides of the house. There's like the under the house, which is where when the power goes out,
Yeah, one of them goes
they
under
go
there.
under. That was like a crazy kill from, if I remember correctly, or
And then the bones of the like
yeah.
previous,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. His
The
dad
father.
was still under
Yeah.
there. Which sucks. They never addressed the poor dad got killed. Nobody looked for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Much easier back then, I guess.
Probably
in the
just say he
70s.
left to get some cigarettes and
Yeah.
Yeah, never came home.
came back.
But I mean, his death was pretty nice at the very, very end.
Yeah.
Christmas
Billy
tree Billy. Which
on the Christmas tree.
on the
Oh, that was
Christmas
great.
tree.
Yeah.
and then it just kind of ends.
And that's it.
It just stops.
Well, yeah, I would have for some reason I was like, okay, so at the end, with the blonde that kind of survives with the sister of
Yeah.
the first kill. Yeah, I was
Okay,
like,
not her. Yeah, they just showed her, but yeah.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't expect it to continue on into the aftermath with the hospital, and then they were alive. You thought they burned to death because there's a fire.
Yeah.
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 Sad.
And then they kill the sister. Yeah, that's when, Agnes pretends to be her when she's getting an x-ray or whatever.
Yeah. I think, Billy, one of them,
Oh, yeah.
and kills the older sister.
Sad. But girl makes it out. Mm-hmm. But this was so fun. This was like a quick
It's a good
paced,
watch.
fun,
Yeah.
silly,
entertaining.
Yeah, put it on with
Lots
some
of
friends, I'll probably, I haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters.
really?
Yeah, so this was my first time watching it.
Oh my
since.
gosh.
So,
I had a great time. I had a great time watching this again. But then I was watching and I was like, I forgot about this. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I was like, oh my God. But
Yeah, it's
man,
a pretty
I really
fun one.
It is. It's so fun. And it's very
Super
just,
entertaining,
Yeah, I think they're about to do another eye shot.
It is.
Yep. Under the tiles that get
Jesus.
moved.
Yeah, recommend if you're looking for some more holiday horror. Oh, here's another quick thought. Another thing is how in this movie, this house seems to be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Emergency responders won't be there for hours or
the
something.
snow and all that.
But it's a sorority house.
It's interesting because it's okay, let's really confine them and make them trapped. But I don't know. I kind of like that in the OG movie. They open the world a lot more.
Yes.
It's there's kids
dude.
outside and taxi drivers and search parties and cops and they go into town and it's a lot more is happening.
Yeah.
Whereas here is very they made it a point to
Contained.
okay, we have to trap them. And I guess I don't know. I guess it makes sense because that's the other hard thing with doing horror
modern.
shit, right? Modern says okay, how do you got to get people away? But now that I think about it, the brilliance of the original is that they are just kind of
Live it. Yeah.
there and
There.
there's other people around, but they make it work. I got to pay extra attention to that aspect of it this time. Jeez.
I just feel like that's something that's lost or we're missing in films a lot these days in general is that, I guess I notice it and maybe you as well as an actor, because I'll watch older films anywhere from the 90s and before and a little bit in the 2000s. But, I'm just there's so many more fleshed out characters of the environment that you're in that actually have some lines. And I'm dude, watching stuff like that, I'll be oh man, if only nowadays we had more of that where you have bit players that say a few lines, but really build the environment more.
Right.
We don't have that. And I'm that's where I feel a lot of us current actors would get, a little bit of a get going, with stuff like that.
Get,
and build it
get
up.
a few more jobs of that.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
now they
no.
don't, it's so contained, I feel
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be a store clerk to move the story along a little bit, but to really flesh out some character aspects.
Or make it feel more
townspeople.
realistic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's all I got for this one.
Yeah. I love this one.
Yeah.
This one's fun.
Yeah. Recommend for sure if you need a little holiday slasher. Not a masterpiece like its predecessor. If you've never seen that one, then definitely check it out.
Yeah.
It's fun because it extends the
This
whole lore
is-
of
yeah.
it, basically, if you want.
In a very don't watch this with your mom and dad either.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, it's a fun R-rated teen scream, in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just fun early 2000s, slasher remake.
Can't
You
go
know
wrong.
what it is.
Yes. Yes.
Damn. All right. Shit. Well, that's a wrap on this one. Happy holidays and
Happy holidays.
Christmas,
Have a Black Christmas.
yeah.
Woo!
Cheers.
Cheers.
you for listening to the Drinks in a Movie podcast. You can now find us on Instagram at Drinks in a Movie Pod, where we'll be posting photos from all the various films that we discuss. You can also email us at drinksinAmoviepod@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and thank you for listening.